Hi everyone, welcome back to the Gauntlet podcast. I am here with my co-host Kaylani. And today we are talking about another player story, and this one is the rise, fall, and redemption of Wes McKenna. All-Stars 2's greatest adversary.
He's got beef with me, so I've got beef with him. We tried to settle our differences. I set up a peace offering. You don't want that.
That's its own story.
That's its own little thing.
So we're here to talk about the Gauntlet.
Yes. Gauntlet restricted. Yep.
And
eyes on the prize.
So Gauntlet is actually how I met Wes in the first place. Basically, what happened is his first season was World Tour. It was the last season of the 21 to 22 season. So my freshman year of high school.
Oh my god, that's so long ago.
It was in May. Yeah, May 2022 was World Tour, and it was fans versus favorites too, and I had 7 fans, 7 favorites. For the last spot for favorites, returning players, I was torn between picking Emily Denham or Maheen Chowdhury. I was opting more for Emily just because I've casted Maheen more in the past. So I talked to Emily, and I was like, if you can get me a new player, then I'll put you on this cast. So she went and asked Josh, who later appeared on Dynamic Duos. Obviously, Josh said no now. So I went and asked Maheen the same question, and Maheen referred Wes, and that's how we met, and he became a member of the fans tribe when the season started. And for World Tour, he was pretty good. I mean, his tribe had to go to the very first tribal council, and he received 2 votes against him. One by Joey Mann, and the other by Anthony, just because Anthony wasn't going to vote for Joey.
Feet.
Okay, calm down with the feet.
Ew!
She's seeing feet in the Target parking lot right now.
The guy has socks on, and there is a hole.
Bro, let me talk about tribal council.
Sorry.
There was also a stray vote for Allison Leary, because Michaela cast against Allison.
She idol, absolutely. Best person
But
ever.
Wes was in a good position, because he was in with the majority. They voted Joey out because he didn't do shit. Then he swapped and was on the majority again with Maheen, Corey, and I don't know if Allison was on this tribe or the other tribe, but I think it was Allison, and I think they were like a tight foursome. Yeah, it was. So this alliance ended up being like important later, because we made it to the merge of World Tour, which was 10 people, and Delaney wasn't an official part of the alliance, but she was voting on their side, kind of. So it was 5-5, but this is when Anthony DeFilippo, who was like pretending to be a part of the alliance, like he used his legacy advantage to protect Colin. All the votes were canceled. Allison Leary got voted out, and now they were down to a numbers disadvantage. So again, Wes was still in the alliance with Corey and technically Delaney. But he only really cared about staying loyal to Maheen. So they made a good strategic decision, because at the next tribal, Corey used an extra vote. So the votes tied between her and Shannon. And Maheen and Wes were like, we're not going to go to fucking Rocks over Corey. So they switched their vote. Their vote? They flipped on the revote, and they voted Corey out. Easy. Final 8 is where we had our downfall. Basically, Maheen had an idol, keep that in mind, which makes this really funny. So I think Wes was in an alliance with, I think Anthony was part of it, and Michaela maybe too. Or maybe he tried to vote against Michaela. I'm not really sure. But basically, Maheen got voted out. And he was like, oh my god, I can't believe you fuckers voted out Maheen. He didn't say that because he's actually a really sweet person, but, it was the same kind of drift. And then he got voted out next tribal council after he took the forum, and he said Anthony DeFilippo was the most untrustworthy, and then Anthony was like bullying him in the main chat. When Wes got voted out in World Tour, the whole jury started like fighting, like not him included. I mean, he was part of the jury now, but it's just because he just got voted out. It was mainly Corey and
oh my god,
Allison. They started like beefing with like Kat, Minnie, and like Colin, like that kind of whole alliance for something. Kat, in the World Tour video diary compilation, Kat has a really good video diary on this if you're interested about it. She kind of explains how everyone was fighting. But that was that. That happened. Wes ended up voting for Shannon in the final 3. It was the only Shannon. But, yeah, so he had a pretty average gameplay. He got 7th out of 16.
Not bad.
The next 2 seasons, can't really say the same about them. This is when you have the rise, fall, and redemption. This is the fall part. He felt like he was playing Fall Guys. Like, I'm telling you. Second chance, he was on the Emerald tribe. And they did pretty good, and because the Lorgery tribe was ass. But they eventually dissolved, and Jessica went to Emerald, and I think Michaela and Llewellyn went to... What's it called?
Lordry?
No, it was the McKenna tribe.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it was funny how Wes, even though his last name was McKenna, he was on the Emerald tribe just by random draw when they set up the season.
That's ironic.
Maheen was also in the season. He was on the McKenna tribe, but he got voted out and was already out because there was Redemption Island, and Maheen forfeited the Redemption Island challenge. Basically, Emerald tribe...
Ladybug! Sorry.
Ladywood? Alright, anyways.
Ooh, Ladywood?
Emerald
Ladywood.
went to Tribal Council. Only one. And... guess who got voted out? The only one tribal council that Emerald went to. So, he got voted out 4-2. I think Allison Leary was his only ally. What's interesting about this is he pulled a Simon moment. Which, if you don't know Gauntlet vocabulary, this originated in the first All-Stars. The Simon moment is when you say a text message to a group chat, but it's the wrong group chat. This is because Simon was like, yeah, fuck Lisbeth too, and he said it in the villains tribe chat instead of his alliance chat. But yeah, and what's interesting is it's a Simon moment, and Wes's Simon moment that he pulled was he sent his vote for Simon to the main chat instead of to me. And I think they were gonna target him anyway, but that was just extra incentive to get voted out. He got voted out, and he didn't actually forfeit the Redemption Island challenge, but he just didn't complete it. So it technically was a forfeit. He was out pre-jury. So that was season 7. He was not back on season 8. He did not apply. But for season 9, which is my favorite casting gimmick ever, dynamic duos.
That was so good.
I was really hoping that Maheen and Wes would apply as a duo, and then Maheen snapped me one day when I was doing casting. He was like, yo, I think I might come on with Wes as my duo, and I was like, yes, I didn't have to even ask.
And that's when I got Josh on, too.
Yeah, so they came on, and the duos were competing against each other. So Wes was on the Blue Bugatti tribe, which was named by Ailish? I think Ailish named it.
Was Ayla it was like Ailish?
No, it was like Ailish, Lady, and Meg. They were like, yo, Blue Bugatti tribe, here we go.
Because that was during the Andrew Tate time, so everybody was making, like, Andrew Tate, like, Bugatti jokes, and, like, I woke up in a new Bugatti.
But anyways, you can take away the dynamic duos portion of this video.
I woke up in a new Bugatti. That's how that started, and then I don't even know how blue came up. But I'm pretty sure that
well, your tribe color was just blue.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense then. So it was blue Bugattis, and then that's when that really took off when we were making... Was it a challenge to make the flags?
No. That became a challenge, but the first time they did it with Adrian and Jada, they just did it for fun.
Because Jada was on my tribe, right?
No, Jada was on the Pussy tribe.
Pussy tribe. So Jada made the...
Adrian made it first. Adrian made the Bugatti.
He made the Bugatti, and then did he make the Pussy tribe one too?
Probably,
or did Jada?
I don't know.
Either way, I know Adrian was good with his little, like, Pixar shit. And he was making, like, random, like, pictures and flags and whatnot. And then we were like, oh my god, flags, yes, let's do this. So then Adrian made the Bugatti flag, and then I think Jada and maybe... Was Stella on my team? No. Mm-mm. Stella was on the Pussy, so I think Jada and Stella, like, came up and they were like, Pussy tribe, let's do this. So then they had that one.
Yeah. But let's talk about Wes.
Wes, yes.
Because you guys had the Good Vibes Only alliance.
We did have the Good Vibes Only. That was what? Me, Wes, Megan, and... Was it Lady as well?
Yeah, Lady was in there.
Yeah.
And then Adrian was in there. He joined, like, later because you guys were like, yo, we get a good vibe from him.
Yeah, because Meg and Adrian were alliance. So then Megan was, like, texted me, Lady, and Wes.
So what's interesting about it is Wes made the alliance.
Yeah.
And then Meg kind of took over as leader.
Yeah. And then Megan and I... Oof, those were rough times. But her and I like, she asked me to alliance, and I was like, yeah, sure. So then we were in alliance, and then me and Lady started getting closer because of that one. And then by the time it came to voting and whatnot, Lily was first. I didn't vote Lily. and then Lily got off. And then Lady was in communication with Ailish and Max, and to have, like, kind of, like, connect the tribe somehow, but also, like, keep, like, separate alliances. Then Erin was kind of, like, off, so Erin, I don't think she really had any close ties with anybody during that season. So she was just the easiest to vote off, so we ended up voting her off as well.
And it was 7-1, very...
Yeah, that was a very interesting one.
The season had a lot of one-sided votes.
It really did. She gave off an extremely bad vibe. That was the origin of our little alliance name. And then that is when Megan created the separate chat with me, Lady, and Adrian to vote off Wes. I don't even know why. I think we were just, like, annoyed by him or something.
No, I remember why. It sparked because of the Music Mania challenge.
Was that from the Music Mania? Because he had a shitty one, and everywhere he was like, no effort, you suck, blah, 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 blah. But then we all, like, made him... I don't know why everybody was, like, so, like... Oh, because he kept sending fucking memes.
Well, I think it was... either Meg or Lady initially said that he was just bad at the challenges, which, like... Yeah. He was really funny during, celebrity recognition, though, because he kept sending, like, fake duos, and then Ailish started doing it, too.
Yeah.
We can talk about Wes and Ailish later, but...
Yeah. The fucking Music Mania. But that was when... that was when our only, like, separate, like, thing, like, conversations between me and him, because he'd come and, like, text me and be like, who are we voting? And I'd be like, oh, I think... Who did we pose as the vote?
It was you.
Was it me?
It was you.
Oh, yeah, it was me. Everyone was like, yeah, we're gonna vote Kehlani, but they never said it in, like, the me, Megan, Lady, Adrian, him group chat, but they all texted him, like, separately or in a separate group chat, and Megan was like, yeah, we need to choose one of us to vote off, and I was like, just have him vote me. Like, I know I'm safe. Like, he's the only one gonna be voting me. So when that rolled around, we were like, yeah... Or they were all like, yeah, we're voting Kehlani. And then he, like, texted me and was like, who are we voting? And then I was like, I don't know. I don't even know who I said. I said someone else voted off. But, and then, and then we got him. Was that a 6-1?
It was 6-1, yeah.
That was a 6-1 where everybody on the tribe came together, voted him off, and then he was the only one to vote me. And then, was he even mad about that?
I don't think so. I mean, he like, respects the game, so he takes it pretty well.
Yeah.
To quote Lady, though, Wes kind of became a running joke between us because we just voted him off. Like,
we just voted him off.
Towards the end of the season, not we, I mean, I was the host, but, like, everyone started, like, talking about him again and, like, reminiscing. So, I don't know, Ailish was talking about him because Ailish, like, loves him. And we brought him back into the chat just to visit because he wasn't part of the jury, but yeah, he just talked for like a half an hour or something, and then he dipped again. I remember Adrian asked me, like, yo, is he going to be on the special guest list this season? And I didn't put him there because he was a competitor, but it was really funny, and that made him, like...
It made him a huge meme, basically, of Gauntlet history.
And he became so memorable, which is why he came back for All-Stars 2.
Yeah.
And that was...
He crashed his Bugatti and ended up in All-Stars 2.
He was on the Hollywood tribe. Which I did not randomly assign these tribes. I think I'd drawn them out by what would be the most fair for everyone. So he was with Ailish, who, like, again, Ailish worships him. Aisha Murphy, Colin McKenna, Kat Minnie, and Llewellyn Gaffney. So he was already in pretty good. I remember hearing from Colin, he wanted to make, like, a solid 4-person alliance, so it was him and Kat, because they're friends. Then him and Aisha wanted to work together this season, because they were bitter rivals in resolutions. So, for the 4th person, he brought in Wes, so it was, like, 2 guys, 2 girls. We got it going on. Like just like Stacy's mom, you know.
Stacy's
And
mom.
I think Aisha sent me screenshots of a conversation she had with Ailish, and Ailish was like, I'm only aligned with Wes, but I'm open to other alliances because I don't think he's gonna make it very far. But Ailish was wrong, and so was Lady too, because Lady also said Wes was not gonna make it far at all. But they only had to go to one tribal council. Actually, that's a lie. They had to go to two. But the first one, it was an easy vote for Llewellyn. The second one was interesting. It was a joint tribal council with the Malibu tribe. And they were like, let's all put our votes on Delaney. And the Malibu tribe was also like, let's all put our votes on Wes. Mm-hmm. So it would have been 5-5. It ended up being 5-3-2 because Aisha and Ailish voted against Michaela because Aisha did not trust Michaela on Amaral. And now, while normally, if they split their votes like that, it means a death sentence for Wes because they would have the majority. Stella plotted this whole thing with Aisha, and they were both going to play their idols on Delaney and Wes. But Stella thought Aisha was going to vote Jessica out because Stella had beef with Jessica, but she didn't. She voted Michaela out, and Stella was like, what the fuck? And then Aisha was like, haha. So, anyways, we did, that's all that happened. For the most part, Wes was doing pretty good. There was a tribe flop, he was safe until the merge. Now, what's interesting is he was really talkative this season where he wasn't in the past, and this is where his whole kind of redemption comes in. And to quote Lady again, Lady literally said that Wes had the best redemption. Actually, maybe Isla said that. I'm getting that from the Shameless Sleepover video diary. But he said he had, like, the biggest redemption ever just because, like, he's like, so funny now. And, like, he had, like, his villain arc. And then, like, when Megan Haler and Jada Kim came for the Super Sona Challenge, like, Megan was, like, bullying him because, like, that's what she does. Yeah. It was really funny. Oh, my. I remember, I think someone sent a picture of, like SpongeBob, and they I don't know, they were just making a joke. I remember Stella took a screenshot and sent it to me with a ... and it was like, kill yourself, Stella. But I love Stella. Stella's still my bestie. We make it to the merge, and basically everyone kind of had the same view as Wes. They wanted to string him along as long as possible because they figured if he makes it to the end, he's not gonna make many votes.
Yeah.
Josh basically said Josh's ideal final three was him, Wes, and Emily because he thought no one's going to vote for Wes, and between him and Emily it would be like pretty even. I think he would have won over Emily, like just barely, and I ain't talking about human. But here's what's the interesting thing that happened. First vote, Josh, being a freaking mastermind, was like, Colin always slips by and freaking wins everything. Let's vote Colin out. Everyone basically joined up, voted Colin out. Now we get to Final 9, which was the Lady Blindside, which is one of my favorite votes in Gauntlet history. So, basically, Josh and Emily flipped on their alliance they had with Lady, but the main flipper was Ailish again, and
always the villain.
It was a 5-4 vote against Lady. Lady went home with an idol. And what's interesting is, at this point, Wes bought the gamble ticket because he realized, no one likes me, I'm so fucked if I do this. He could play for either, I think it was a vote steal, an idol, or a super idol. He played for super idol because that's like the most valuable thing you can ever have in the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
It came with 4 requirements. One of them was like to sit out. The other one was, I don't know, some challenge related shit. The other 2 were interesting. One of them was you had to put a review of a movie in the middle of a chat. And the other one was the Declaration of Independence. Or, I think it was the Gettysburg Address. It was something like that. Like Emancipation Proclamation.
Emancipation Proclamation.
I know where, the second one was you had to send a message specifically at 2:22 in the morning. So, he wanted to kill himself because he didn't want to send an alarm, and he had to stay up, and he had an early-ass field trip the next day. He was texting me like, I'm gonna kill myself, like, I can't believe this. But he was fine. He did power through, and he did get the super idol, which included the movie review and, like, the Emancipation Proclamation in the chat. And Emily Dunham, when he sent the Mario Bros. Movie review, because that's a movie he chose, Emily Dunham got so fucking pissed because she was playing Clash Royale, and that made her her game crash, and she was on Trophy Road, so she lost trophies.
That is fucking hilarious.
So she went off on him, and then made a whole video diary, which is one of my favorite video diaries of all time going on. Emily really didn't like him. Like it was beyond game at that point. Like, she had, like, personal beef. Like, she was gonna hash it out. Like she was pulling up. But yeah, that was really funny for the most part. But Wes had a super idol, and guess what? He never had to use it.
Oh, all that trouble for nothing.
I think from this point forward, he didn't receive a single vote against him. Maybe he did, I don't know, but basically, he had the Karma Alliance now, which was him, Kat, Josh, Emily, and Ailish. Mm-hmm. And, they were going off. Ailish got rocked out next. Then they had majority. They voted Ashley out easily. They voted Stella out easily. And Wes was super happy when Stella got voted out, because Josh kind of manipulated him into believing that Stella had it out for him, even though she really didn't. Because he thought Wes was the most likely to flip to the other side, so he wanted to make sure that would not happen. Yeah. So, Josh covering all bases here.
Smart.
And Wes, he made video diaries this season, and he talked about in one of them that he knew he would have to vote out, betray Josh eventually, and then we come to Final Five, when the one enemy, the one last remaining person from the Shameless Party Alliance, Isla won individual immunity by 1 point.
Ooh.
So she had immunity. They were like, who are we going to vote out? So Isla wanted to vote Josh out because it's Josh. Yeah. Obviously, biggest threat ever. Josh and Emily were still linked up as an alliance. They were going to vote Kat out, I think. Mm-hmm. It was either Kat or Wes. I don't know. I think they were going to vote Kat out because they needed Wes's vote. So it was 2-2. Wes ended up voting against Josh, and Josh was out. Josh was livid.
Oh, yeah.
Josh was so livid that the reason he was out was because of Wes.
So mad.
But if you really think about it, Wes is out here making moves.
He really
Like,
was.
he knew what he was doing, though.
Oh, yeah.
He also, before this, he won a luxury challenge, which I don't remember what the challenge was. It might have been touchy subjects. But he won a luxury challenge, so he got a challenge advantage and $5 cash. He's one of the few people to actually, like, win something material from the Gauntlet. I literally, you know what's really funny? What? So I never gave Colin his prize money from winning resolutions. It's literally, actually it wasn't resolution, it was Brains vs. Brawn, because I don't do cash prize anymore, but it's literally in an envelope in my desk, and I think it's been there for a year and a half, and I just never give it. I'm gonna give it to him, like, on graduation. Like, I'm waiting.
That'd be so fucking funny.
But yeah, so Wes made it into Final Four, and I think Emily scored the last immunity, and she voted Isla out, because if Isla made it to Final Three, she would have won, and she would have won deserved because of her survival story, very similar to that of Delaney. But it was Final Three, and Wes literally made it to Final Three.
Taylor Swift reference. Seagull
on a Blue Sky, 1989. But anyways, yeah, and it was really interesting because I remember Wes's main goal, he didn't really want to win. He just wanted to beat his world tour placement, which was 7th place. So he got that. He ended up tying for runner-up with Kat because Ailish voted him to win. And because, like, the whole thing is, like, because it was kind of like what everyone wanted to do was to bring him to the end, because they was like, oh, he sucks at this game. He's not going to get any votes. If you really look at this season independently, he did good. He really did good, considering everyone, like, had it out for him, and he survived all this way and didn't even have to use his super idol.
He did be.
He thrived. Like, good is an understatement. Like, he literally thrived this season. And that's where the redemption comes from. Like so many people were like, yeah, like, after Dynamite Duos, if this kid comes back, like, there's no way he's making it past 3 days in the game, you know? But he did. He turned it out. He survived the full 26 days of All-Stars.
And he got fucking runner-up, so... Like, he literally, big fuck you to everybody else.
I know, and I honestly think that's kind of iconic.
Tad bit.
He's always going to be, like, a part of Gauntlet history just because of that. Like, it was so funny. Yeah. And I almost gave him the villain award, too, but I ended up giving it to Josh just because, like, Josh was, like, really smart. And Josh already had MVP, and I was like, do I really want to give Josh two? Because I feel like it'd be really funny if I gave Wes the villain award, but I just ended up giving it to Josh. But it was really close. Like, I was really indecisive about it, kind of like everything else. But yeah.
That was that, right?
And I'm pretty sure that's where his journey's going to end, because while I say I would invite him back for All-Stars 3, I don't think he's going to accept it. So.
Honestly, it'd be smart of him to just end it on that. Because that's a good way to
end
your
Gauntlet.
That's a really good way to end your Gauntlet, like, story.
Yeah. And that is basically the story of Wes McKenna on the Gauntlet.
The rise, the fall, and the redemption of Wes McKenna.
And the
Or
redemption is
McKinley.
always the best way.
Or McKinley. I don't know.
Yeah, or McKinley, depending on where you're coming from. So, yeah, that is our Play Your Story for today. We will be covering someone else in the future. But until then, we will see you all on the next episode.
Bye-bye! Hawk.